It's 37, so we got to start.
You want me to move the chair?
No, you're good. Hi, kids. It's your buddy Clint. I'm out here live at Sedgwick County Zoo with my good friend Juliana, who is the program staff for the Sedgwick County Zoo. She's phenomenal. We got some really cool things to show you, and we're looking forward to it. So here we go.
Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about rockin' reptiles. I personally love reptiles. They're some of my favorite animals, so I'm really excited to show you guys about them. So the first thing we're going to talk about is that reptiles all have either types of scales or shells, and those help to protect them. Another thing that we're going to talk about is that reptiles are something that's called cold-blooded. That doesn't mean that they are cold all the time, but that they need the environment to regulate their temperature. So a lot of the times you will see reptiles out in the sun to help to absorb all the nice warmth from the sun that's coming out and to help them keep warm. Reptiles have different adaptations, and an adaptation is something that helps an animal to survive and to flourish in their environment. So the first animal we're going to talk about is the American alligator. Alligators like to live in swampy areas, like where I'm from in Florida. They love to lay out in the sun, and they also like to go in the water to go swimming. They're really, really great swimmers. Put this down. So alligators have really, really thick scales that help them to glide through the water and also to protect them from things that want to eat them. Now, alligators might not seem very scary and things like that, but a lot of things try to eat them when they're little. So that's why they have these really, really rigid scales on their back to help to protect them, especially when they're babies. A lot of things like to eat them, like raccoons. They have these really great, they have webbed feet to help them swim through the water. Another cool thing about alligators is that they have really sharp teeth. So alligators are called carnivores, which means that they only eat meat. They have really sharp teeth to help them break apart that food and tear it down into smaller pieces so they can eat it easier. And a really cool thing about alligators is that they are always losing teeth. So when humans are born, we don't have any teeth, but as we grow our teeth, they're baby teeth, so we lose a set and then we regrow them. And that's all the teeth that we get in our whole lives. If you break your adult teeth, you're gonna have to go get it fixed by a dentist, but alligators never have to go see a dentist. If they break a teeth, they're always gonna be regrowing them. They can go through thousands of teeth throughout their life, but they always grow back in the same exact place. Sharks have rows and rows of teeth, but alligators just have one row of teeth that grow. Another cool thing about alligators is that they wear goggles. They don't wear goggles like we do, but they have a clear eyelid that goes over their eye, and when they go underwater to go fishing, they can use that to help them see better and catch their prey. They're really, really good swimmers. So the next animal we're going to talk about are turtles. So we talked about alligators having lots and lots of teeth. Turtles have no teeth. So you'll never see a turtle smile at you. You'll see them open up their beak like this. Just like how a bird has a beak, turtles have beaks as well. And you see those sharp little points at the end of its beak? That's what they will use to tear apart their food. Now this turtle is a snapping turtle. So this one is also a carnivore. Different types of turtles eat different types of things. Some turtles will eat lots of plants as well as different types of fish, but the snapping turtle only eats meat. So they are a carnivore like the alligator. They will use that sharp beak to catch their fish. They are something that's called an opportunistic feeder. So what they'll do is they'll stick out their really, really long neck and catch fish really quickly and then bring it back inside to chew it. And this is a shell from a snapping turtle. So as you see, they get really, really large. When they hatch out of their eggs, they're super tiny, and then they keep growing. The inside of the shell is something I love to show people because not many people know that turtles have bones that are fused or inside of their shell. So these are its ribs and its spine, or its ribs are on the other side. This is a spine, and that always is growing with the turtle. Turtles can never leave their shell. It's not their home, it's their body. So they're always inside of their shell, and it's really, really hard because alligators like to eat turtles. So they need this hard protective shell to keep them protected and keep them from having alligators eat them all the time. That's what that is. Another thing is turtles have dark tops of their shells. That helps them to camouflage or blend in so that they are not found by alligators or things that like to eat them. And then usually on the bottom of their shells is a little bit of a lighter color like this. and that helps them to be avoided from fish wanting to eat them. So if a fish is looking up, they are hidden by that lighter shell. So this is another shell. This is from a slider turtle, and it's the same thing where you can see his spine is infused into the shell. So they are always with their shells, they're always growing. And once again, it's really, really hard to protect itself from alligators or even raccoons that want to eat it.
So there's a couple questions coming in. They're really curious how long these animals live.
Okay, so alligators, they typically live about 60 to 80 years old in the wild. They can live longer in captivity, which means under human care. So in zoos or wildlife rescues, they can live longer. And alligators can get very large. So a male alligator can get 11 feet long. That's almost as long as a car or even longer. And then female alligators live or get a little bit smaller than that. So they never exceed 9 feet. Turtles, it does depend on the species. Snapping turtles, I believe, is about 20 years. And then there's some other types of turtles, like the land tortoise, the sulcata tortoises. They can live up to 100 years old. They can get very, very old. So it depends on the species or the type of turtle.
Excellent.
Any other questions for now?
It looks like that's it.
That's it? Okay, awesome. So the next animal we're going to talk about, it is a type of lizard. This lizard is a lot bigger than a lot of people think. So if you guys at your school open up your hands wide and your arms, from tip to tip is about how long this lizard can get. So it's about 3 feet or 4 feet long. It is called a tegu lizard. They have this really beautiful black scales on their back. The black helps to absorb the heat better from the sun. So that's an adaptation or something that helps them to survive in the wild. These scales are really smooth and soft. They are made out of keratin. So the same thing that our hair and our nails are made out of is what the scales are made out of. And they will always shed their skin, and the new skin comes out on top. So when they shed their skin, the tegus will shed it in pieces at a time. And the next animal we're talking about sheds it at a whole piece at a time. So tegus are something that's called an omnivore. So they eat both plants and animals. The alligators are carnivores. The snapping turtles are carnivores. So this is something different. It's an omnivore. They're going to eat things like small birds. They're going to eat things like fruits. They eat a little bit of everything. They have really short legs. So they're not a lizard that likes to climb. They'll stay low to the ground and kind of walk or gallop. All right, so the next animal we're going to talk about are snakes. I personally love snakes. I think they're really cool. My favorite thing to talk about are the bones of the snake. These are its spine all the way down. So they have bones all along their body. They don't have arms or legs like we do. So they can't walk around like we do. They have to use their many bones to slither and glide them wherever they want to go. And along these bones are their big muscles, like we have our big bicep muscles. They have muscles all the way down their bones that help them to slither or to climb up trees. Lots of snakes like to climb up trees. So this is a skeleton from a rattlesnake. If you guys can hear it. This is a rattlesnake. So when they sense danger, they will shake their tail to alert people or other animals of its presence. It's really, really important that they have this because it's an adaptation so that things don't either step on them or things don't eat them, because it's really scary when you hear that. You say, hey, I'm here, don't step on me, and it will alert them that they're there. Rattlesnakes have something called venom, and so if an animal were to get bitten by a rattlesnake, it would most likely really hurt them or even kill them. So they have learned over time not to go after the rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes are also carnivores, so they're only going to eat meat, and they will eat their prey whole. They don't chop it like we do, how we take bites out of our food. They will swallow the whole thing whole. They never ever take little tiny bites. And they have tiny teeth all around the top of their mouth as well, and they do lose them and grow them back just like how the alligator does.
So which reptiles are native to Kansas that live in Kansas?
So we have a couple different snakes. We do have some prairie rattlesnakes that do live here. And then we also have some non-venomous ones like your rat snakes and your corn snakes as well.
How many teeth do alligators have? This is from a kindergarten class, and they also want to know what specifically do alligators eat?
So alligators can have, it depends on what time of life they are in. So if like this, we're here looking here, this alligator is missing some of its teeth. They can fall out when they are hunting or chewing things. But I think at a given point, they would have around 40 to 50, I believe is the correct number, depending on how many teeth they are losing. And alligators really like to eat different types of fish. They will eat snapping turtles. They will eat like red ear sliders. They will eat sometimes raccoons, bunnies, different local birds that are around. They will kind of eat anything that is around them. It's really important never to feed alligators if you do see one, because they can associate people with food, and that's a problem, and that's when they get aggressive. So we don't ever want to do that. They do like to eat only meat. They are carnivores.
I love this question. It's coming from Jefferson Elementary. If an alligator eats a turtle, do they eat the shell as well?
Good question. So they will eat the shell. What they'll do is they'll chomp down and they'll actually break apart their shell as they're chomping on it. But yes, they do eat the whole entire turtle, including the shell.
Chisholm Trail wants to know, how'd you get these skins?
That's a good question. We get that question a lot. So at different zoos or nature preserves, when an animal passes away, they send off that animal for examination, and then they'll take the skins, or they'll take their heads or different parts of their body, and they'll preserve them so that people can use them for education. They're really important so people can get a closer look at the hides and get a better look at them.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like we have 2 minutes left. We want to give these classes a chance to take a selfie with the fabulous Juliana. So now's your time. We'll pause for about 30 seconds and give you a chance to get by the screen and take a picture with Juliana.
While they're getting ready, Juliana, will you tell us what your favorite reptile is?
My favorite reptile is probably the American alligator. They're native to Florida, southeastern United States, and that's where I'm from. So I love them. I think they're really cool and great.
We have a lot of students who think they're cool and great too.
All right, here's your chance to get a picture. We're going to go 3, 2, 1. Well, we want to thank the Sedgwick County Zoo. Thank you, Juliana. And kids, we hope you're having a blast today. We'll see you at an adventure here in a few minutes. Bye, everyone.